Okay, here's a look at Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm. So here's a quick look at the box, the front of the box with the nice artwork there of Sandstorm in his Doom Buggy mode, artwork there of Sandstorm in the helicopter mode. Back of the box, you get your product images. It's a 3-in-1. So that's really cool. Side of the box, you get artwork here of some other figures in this line. Other side, you get some artwork here of Sandstorm, which is really cool. Top of the box, Transformers Legacy United, bottom words and stuff. So that's a look at the box. And here is a look at the figure and the accessories. So first, let's go over the instructions. So here it's a nice open up instructions, not done in a booklet style. And I did want to point out some criticism or critique here, which is that they don't have any text here. So this cage thing, I mean, what do you call it? They could have actually put some text there to let you know what these things are. But they did number it, and they did color the parts, the focus parts of transformation. You do have these arrows showing you the direction of the transformation and stuff. So that's nice in terms of detailed drawings. And you could see this is a really big sheet, and this is why I don't like this style. Or actually, they should have done it the old G1 where it just opens up like a big wide sheet. But anyways, here is a look at the figure. But before that, let's take a closer look at the accessories. So here you get this cage thing, whatever, which is nice. And what's really cool is they actually gave you this string, that you can use. But they didn't give you any kind of handle or anything. So you do kind of have to just use these little nubs on the orange piece to kind of roll this up, which, works. But, obviously would have been nice if they would have given you a little rotating piece to make that a little bit easier. And this cage thing functions as a parts forming piece for the alt mode. So this does go on top of the alt mode in the Doom Buggy mode, and this actually goes on the bottom of the car. And then this, you can put in like the back somewhere. So these are like the three accessories that you get. And then you also get his handgun, which I do like the fact that it's not just G1 accurate, but it's not this so-called waffle kind of gun. So it is nicely sculpted, really nice. And I did want to point out that there was one other accessory that it comes with, but you do have to attach it. So just make sure if you get this that you find this piece, because it doesn't come attached. But anyways, that's the accessories. So now let's take a closer look at the figure. So first of all, you get a G1 head, which that kind of bums me out because I'm very toon. My preference is more the toon. So he should have a white face, but he doesn't. But it's still okay. It's based off the toy design. So you could see all the nicely sculpted detail. That's really nice. I mean, you have to really zoom in. Look at all that sculpted detail there. And then the chest here, the hips, and then here some more sculpted, painted detail on the feet. Really nice. I really like these rims on the wheels. And what's cool are these wheels have that same kind of rubbery plastic like they gave you with the Beachcomber. That's really nice. And then the back, nothing special about the back. But yeah, this is a nice looking figure. So in terms of articulation, the head is kind of hard to articulate because it's kind of in like this little cavity here, but you can manipulate it if you can kind of squeeze your fingers in there like that. And it is on a ball joint, so it can go up, down, side to side, all around. Here you got this universal, so it can go out to the side, front and back, bicep swivel, elbow joint that goes past 90. You do get fist rotation, so that's kind of cool. And then the hips here, you don't get, well, actually you do. It's just really tight. Waist rotation, and no ab crunch, but you can kind of fake it till you make it by using the hips here. That makes the legs go forward and back, out to the side. Thigh rotation, knee bend. The feet does have ankle rocker, and it doesn't really go up, but it can go kind of down. So articulation, just your standard articulation, which is nice. Yeah, so this is a really nice looking figure. So in terms of comparison, let's bring out his buddy here, Octane. This is the Takata Generations Octane, which has the cool headmaster gimmick feature here. And the Hasbro version I had, but that's a figure I gave away to that same friend who got all my old Masterpiece figures. But yeah, you could see how these two guys look together. And I don't know if we're gonna get a Legacy or the next line of by Hasbro of Octane here, but I could just tell you that these two guys, they actually look really good together. They scale really nice. So yeah, there's a look at that. And I'm not going to bring out all of the other mainline features from Studio Series or Legacy United. So I just brought out this one. And here you could see what he looks like next to Ultra Magnus as they appeared in that episode together. So yeah, it looks really cool. And I know this figure will look really nice with the rest of the Season 3 mainline figures. So yeah, you could see, and this looks really cool. Put him over here. Let's bring back out his buddy here, Octane. So yeah, here's a look at just some comparisons. And for some more comparisons, let's bring out the original G1 first, so we could see what he first looked like. And you could see this one, they did base this one a little bit off the original G1 toy, so you could see the face is definitely based off the G1 toy. But the thighs, you could see it's black, which is cartoon accurate, and the orange thighs here is based more off the G1 toy. And then there are other little details here and there that are similar to the cartoon and similar to the toy. But here is a look at the next to the original G1, and his leg kind of lost that stability here because it keeps falling in. And then before this, we did have the Generations version, which you can hear that nice clickety ratchet. This one is the Takata version, so you could see what this one looked like. And I can point out now some of the differences here. So obviously the G1 has its own look, which is definitely not cartoon accurate. Like, for example, he has a face mask, which that's what I noticed. A lot of the toys seem to have the face mask, but the cartoon design, it seems like they changed it to have a face, probably so they can animate the lips to be moving when they're talking. But anyways, that's one difference. And then this one, this was before they started trying to do more of the toon or toy version. So this is kind of like their own stylized rendition of Sandstorm. And so I have to judge this on a different criteria based on how well that this figure is designed. And I could tell you that This is actually a really nice figure, you know. It's nicely sculpted, nicely painted, the you know, transformation design and stuff like that. And this gun, they designed this gun. This was a super smart design. I'll show that off later. But yeah, this is not like the toy or the cartoon. It's like a stylized rendition, but it looks really nice. And something else I wanted to point out, even though this was years ago, this figure was a Voyager. This is a liter, smaller. This was like $30 if I remember for the Hasbro version. And this one's now like, I don't know, I ended up paying $60 on Amazon for it after tax. So yeah, there's one difference. But here you could see what all these guys look like. And one last comparison is the Legends. This one's by Mechanic Studios. So you could see this one kind of disappointed me because of the yellow thighs, which is based more off the G1 toy. But what was nice is they gave you an alternative head. So now you could see what his head should actually look like if it was cartoon accurate. And then, of course, there is the masterpiece. The only one that we have there is by Unique Toys. And that one, yeah, yeah, it's an older masterpiece. And we definitely need a new masterpiece but of this character. But just real quick, let's just compare this with the animation model and see how well they captured the cartoon aesthetics. And yeah, you could see that they did capture some things that are from the cartoon, like I keep pointing out the black thighs, but then the face is not cartoon accurate. That's more G1 toy accurate. So yeah, I don't know what to say other than that's just how it is. I did my version of Sandstorm, which you know, I tried to focus more on the toon aesthetics, but I added a little, you know, tweaks here and there. Just, you know, that was before all the hyper toon that we have today. But anyways, this is a look at the figure in robot mode. So now let's transform him into his alt mode and take a look at that.
Okay, sure. You showed me, Buddy. Now I'll show you. Eat my dust!
Okay, here's a look at the alt mode. And for the most part, I think it's a really nice alt mode. It's just there are some parts that just look like it's proportionately off. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like doing drawings and, you know, you kind of draw things a little off. That's what this kind of looks like. But they did do a lot of nice things, like a lot of nicely sculpted detail. They added extra things. I don't know what this is called, but this little bar on the dune buggy, really nice. And there are aspects of it which are kind of like toon accurate, like the spoiler and stuff. But what's really cool is they gave you these same rubber-like wheels that they gave you with the Beachcomber. So it's really nice. So let's just compare this with the animation model, and you could see it's definitely not toon aesthetics, but there are aspects where they did capture some toon things, such as this bar that I was telling you. And it's kind of like a stylized version too, like here, which I think they also kind of captured like the G1 toy aesthetics. So let's compare it with the G1 toy, and you could see, yeah, some things I think are kind of similar, such as kind of like the little detail on the front here, the silver, and the silver here on the chest. So you could see, yeah, but Yeah, it's okay. And I'll tell you personally, I actually like the G1 toy. This one, look at the proportionately, this one looks way better. And yeah, so that's a look at that. And let's do one more comparison. Let's bring out the previous Sandstorm. This is the Generations, but this one is the Takata Generations version. So, you know, the colors are a little bit different. And, you know, when I was playing with this, transforming it, I mean, this, how do I say this? This is really a great figure. This is definitely not tune accurate. So I have to, the criteria for judging this is based on the design. And the way they designed this, I mean, the engineering design and all the little details and that they added, this is done really nice. And I'm glad I can show this because this is really cool and really smart. But this is this is a shooting missile, but it doesn't require a spring, a screw, more assembly, more parts. But all you do is just push back here. Look at that, and it shoots all on that ball joint. This is all done on friction. You just put it in here, lock it in place, and when you pull back, this is so cool. I wanted to point that out because I think that's something, you know, maybe X-Trans bots should think about doing, because this would be much cheaper and, you know, they can still add their little cool gimmicks, but, you know, for less, and that works better. So yeah, that's really cool. But anyways, here's a look at the Takata Generations. And let's bring out one more comparison. Here is the Mechanic Studios version of Sandstorm, which is really cool for its size, for a Legends scale. Yeah, look at this. I think they did a nice job here for the Legend size. And then there is also the Masterpiece, current Masterpiece that we have by Unique Toys, which I'm not bringing out because that's just more work for me to do. Maybe there's some more popular reviewers out there who will show the comparisons. But yeah, here you could see with the comparison between all of these in their alt mode and which one looks good. I think it's this one. This is typical of the G1. They use this as a model to create the character design for the animation. So that's why there's always some things off. But for the most part, this looks really nice. And again, I really like this. The transformation and stuff is really cool. But anyways, that's a look at those. And so now let's transform him back to robot mode and then transform it into his helicopter mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at the alt mode, and you could see for the most part this is a nice looking helicopter alt mode. Does have a nice spinning propeller back here. The front here doesn't really spin all that well. Yeah, so let's compare this with the animation model and see how well they captured the toon aesthetics. And yeah, I think it's okay. They're definitely not going for the toon aesthetics. I could point out a lot of things that are just so off, you know, such as his arms should actually be closer to the front and some of the details. But, you know, I have to take into consideration also that this is a triple changer. So designing the engineering of the transformation is actually pretty hard. But it does have some cool features here. You can bring this little, I don't know what you call this little hook thing, which is on a string, and you can attach it here to this cage. So then you can have them flying and just kind of lifting that up and away. So that's kind of a cool feature. But other than that, doesn't really do much. It has wheels on the back, which are nice. but these are not the actual wheels for the helicopter, so they're just doing some cheats here. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So let's compare this with the original G1, and you could see, I think this one might be a little bit more tune accurate. So you could see his arms, those little shoulder arm things are in the front, and it does have some nice spinning propellers on the top. But yeah, I'm not gonna get all into it, but again, this is another one that yeah, that looks really good. And let's also compare this with the previous mainline retail, the Takata Generations, and you could see what this one looks like. And again, this one, it's, man, even this mode, it's really cool, and it's fun transforming, you know. This is definitely not going toon or toy aesthetics. This is more a stylized version. So the criteria for judging this is based on how well they designed their own design, and look at all the nicely sculpted detail, the transparent paint. This is again, I really like this figure also. And let's also bring out the Legends by Mechanic Studios, and you could see this one. I do like how, you know, there's more yellow, because the helicopter did have some more yellow. Here, the shoulder arms are kind of like in the middle, so that's a little bit closer than the Legacy. So it does have nice spinning propellers there on the back as well. Really nice. So this is a look at all three in alt mode. And yeah, of course, we also have the Masterpiece, which the only one we have is by Unique Toys, and that one looks okay. And I could tell you, I'm starting to see why maybe Masterpiece is not coming out with their version, because this is actually a really hard triple changer to make. I don't want to get all into the details, but you know, if I was designing it, just trying to work it out, I can see so many difficult areas trying to match the tune aesthetic. So I'm just saying, that's my reasoning why I think it's taking so long for us to get a updated Masterpiece Sandstorm, which I really would like to have. But anyways, as far as this goes, it's not bad. It's fun to play with, fun to transform. You know, that's typical of mainline retail. These are actually fun little figures to play with. So with that said, let's transform back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, my final thoughts on this figure. All things considered, this is actually a really nice looking figure in all three modes, and transformation to all three modes is actually really fun and enjoyable. So I think Hasbro and Takata did a really nice job on this figure. This is not a very tune accurate toy. As you could see, that head is based more off the G1 toy, but they did capture some other aspects from the G1 cartoon. So this is kind of like a fusion between the G1 toy and cartoon. So just depends on, you know, how you feel about that, what your preference is. For me, being a mainline retail figure, I'm sort of indifferent to that, even though I would have preferred like a more G1 cartoon head there, because that is my preference. But my criteria for judging this figure is really based more on the actual figure itself, in terms of form and function, how well they design, the figure, the engineering, and all that stuff. So I think they did a nice job on all of that. So that's basically all I want to say, is that I think this is a really nice figure. It is pretty expensive, I would say, but I can just tell you, I know the price is pretty high, because there's so many parts that they use to make this figure, even though he is kind of like yeah, he's about a Voyager size. He's not a leader size. But again, I think it's because of all the parts and stuff to justify the cost. But anyways, it's a nice figure, and I don't give recommendations, because if you want it, you'll get it. If you don't, you won't. But I'll tell you, yeah, I would recommend this figure, because this is, a nice looking figure in all three modes, and playing with it, transforming it, it's really fun. So I would recommend this figure. And in terms of rating, I would rate this figure 8.5 out of 10. So that's my final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm.
It's time we fought for what we believe in, our freedom, our planet, our lives.